this weekend. Welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Athlete Podcast. I am here as your host, Joseph, here with my co-host, our carry the co-host, Zachary. How's it going today?
Man, things are really good. You know, the Timberwolves winning. That's my new
Yes,
bandwagon team. So,
there we
things
go. If you guys don't know, this is your first time tuning in. Zachary is a bandwagoner. He's a proud bandwagoner.
are
As
great.
he has the Warriors hat on, but he has the Timberwolves background.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a fan of teams that are winning. So he's a Chiefs fan. Me myself, I am a loyal Laker fan. But I'm not a loyal NFL fan. I just hopped on the Niners bandwagon a couple years ago. So we're
One thing,
just
can I comment on that real quick?
yeah.
I hop on the waves prior to the team winning championships. I find teams early on that are successful, like I did so with the Rams, the Chiefs before
The Rams.
when I was Rams. I was on the Rams bandwagon way before. I'm
Oh
talking,
wow.
yeah. I hopped on that bandwagon
Oh
before
yeah, I
they
remember using them wait, are you talking about with Todd Gurley? Talking about that
Todd
team?
Gurley days. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, like I hop on bandwagons now before these teams start to win championships. So if I ride your wave, just know a championship might be coming in your future.
Wow.
Timberwolves, talking to you right now.
Wow. Well, let's get straight into it. So yesterday the Timberwolves played the T-Wolves 106-99. They won in Denver, first game of the series. I think we both picked T-Wolves to win the series, and we both taken T-Wolves to go all the way to the finals.
Nice.
Couple of notes here, excuse me. Couple of notes here. Anthony Edwards had 40 once again. And this guy's just a monster. But Jokic had an amazing game. He did have a lot of turnovers though, which is I think the reason that the T-Wolves did win, just because of the offensive rebounding and turnovers that Jokic had, and obviously the offensive rebound that the T-Wolves had. So before I kind of get into the recap, or actually, I mean that pretty much is the recap of the game. Jamal Murray also did a score in the first half, had 17 in the second half. So there's a lot of storylines that this game, is equipped with. Me as a Laker fan, I am kind of upset because Murray was taking over the final 5 minutes against the Lakers, but we don't have a Jaden McDaniels. Like back to that Anthony Edwards quote. Like, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
Exactly.
We don't have a Jaden McDaniels. So respect to Jaden and everybody on that T-Wolves team for coming through in the clutch, because that was a big win yesterday. First game of the series, winning on the road against the defending champs.
The advantage that the advantage that the Lakers, the Nuggets had over the Lakers in the last series was the Lakers had trouble switching. When you
Yeah.
because the Nuggets, they like to have Jokic around like the post area, and then you have
Mhm.
people just flying around off back screens, front screen. Like it's crazy, right? Their offense is pretty cool, and that's why Jokic is allowed to have all these assists, right? Going
Yeah.
back with the Timberwolves, they can switch everything like 1 through 5. Conley's strong enough where he can guard bigger guys. For you see him on Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon,
Yeah. Yeah.
a super strong offensive player. He's someone that can like catch and dunk, maybe make a corner three every once in a while. Uh, so the and then I shared, right. The Timberwolves have 5 guys that can score in double figures. And yesterday, if you watched the game, 5 didn't hit it before it did in a low scoring
Yeah.
game. We saw like that.
I mean,
That's what
yeah. That fourth quarter where Nas Reed had 10
I
straight
agree.
points, and I was one of those fans of the Lakers who actually I was like, dude, we got to get Nas Reed, like, because he was a free agent last year. Obviously, he was a restricted free agent, so the T-Wolves had rights on him, so they kind of offered him and kind of set the contract. But uh, Jaden McDaniels had 0 points yesterday,
Bro,
and they still won by almost won by 7.
7, yeah.
So I think a lot of these. Oh, I didn't know Anthony Edwards had 43, not 40, by the way. He had 43. Yeah. So, anyways, I think the biggest thing to this story, to this team, like roster construction wise and game plan wise, is that I don't like. I think this is the way you stop the Nuggets. Is you don't care if Jokic scores. It's the other people that are gonna win you the games. Like, but to your point, like Jokic did a lot, and Michael Porter had 20, Jamal Murray had 17, but Aaron Gordon only had 9, and he only took 6 shots. And I'm just looking through the Kristen Brown played a lot of minutes. He only had 7. Reggie Jackson had 5. I mean, these are guys that played against the Lakers, but even against the Lakers, like and I'm sorry to keep on bringing up the Lakers, but I'm just trying to, talk about the Nuggets here for a sec. The Nuggets struggled to score. It's just the Lakers didn't have more scores, than the Nuggets. It's like,
Sorry
I
about
think
that.
I think that's the biggest thing in terms of why the T-Wolves won, because the game was close until what, like probably about a minute and a half left after
It was
I
like three
think it
minutes.
was, yeah, well, but I'm just talking like it was like a single digit game. And then I think Conley hit a big three, um I think like with like a 2.5 minutes left or something like that. And I kind of like, that was like a dagger. No. Actually, it was Anthony Edwards drive to the basket. It was like a layup that he did. I was like that dagger. But anyways,
You know what?
like
You know what
not
helps you, Joseph? Like if
go
you watch
ahead.
the game, right? Jokic, he's a really great player and everything. But like what's funny is I said this before, and then I saw Anthony Edwards say it when it was super impressive. Probably Towns to stop fouling. And early on in the game,
Yeah, he
uh,
had 3 quick
I
fouls.
was putting in work on the offensive side. He had to miss a field goal, and I believe it was either the second or third quarter.
It was second
And
quarter.
but Jokic noticed this, and Jokic goes right to the post,
Yeah,
and he gets to foul him once. The
yeah,
next possession takes him right to the post, gets him another foul, and I'm like, two
yeah,
fouls. It was like maybe 10 seconds of gameplay, and you start to a little worry. You're like, okay, like what's gonna happen now? But then Rudy Gobert said, "Hey, I'm 7'2". Don't worry, guys. I can add some length." And I'm not saying you're gonna stop Jokic. What I'm saying is you just slow him down. If you can make him miss instead of 1 out of 2, maybe 1 out of 3 shots, and then all of a sudden those possessions add up, and you got yourself a
yeah.
victory. Or
Well,
at least you get
the
yourself a chance.
the thing I've noticed with Jokic, because I watched the Nuggets a lot over the past 2 seasons, and well, honestly, past 4 seasons. And the thing about Jokic is like, if he does not hit his first couple of shots, like he like inside the paint. I'm sorry, like outside the paint, he's gonna try to find easy baskets. Like he'll, because what will happen is Jokic. What I've noticed with Jokic is like he doesn't start inside the game. Like he doesn't start inside the paint in the game. He starts outside the. He either starts like on that top of the key, above the 3 point line, or he starts above the free throw line. I think they call it the needle. Hey, I'm using those mind the game. Or I think that's the
Oh,
podcast
running
name.
game.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
The needle's
So
at the free throw line.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He starts there. Like he rarely ever goes to the post for like for his first couple of shots. Like, but if he's struggling, he'll go to the post because he misses like outside shots and whatnot. And he was pretty much on for the whole game. I think second quarter he got a little bit started. But I think the thing with Jokic is his supporting cast is so good, but the plays that they were running, like the team were like 2 steps ahead. Like you would
Yeah.
see, like they would do that back door that LeBron kept on getting beat on with Gordon. Gordon would do it,
Well,
and
they're
no,
they're not
Towns is
late.
right there. Or
Like that's my
Gobert is
problem with
right
the Lakers.
there.
The
Someone's
Lakers are
dropping
late.
back at all time. Yeah, no, I agree, I agree,
I'm
I
not
agree.
being in like a
No, I
negative.
agree.
It's just if you watch Lakers, they wanted to, you play defense, Anthony Davis. You
No,
play
yeah, they don't
like
do help defense at
like
all.
Vanderbilt. Oh,
Their help defense
you play
is
defense,
is is
Vanderbilt.
very bad.
Get me the rebound, and like think and this is I think why I claim Anthony Edwards as the best player in the NBA because he's going to give you offense and he had a big block in the game that
Yeah,
started
well, yeah, I
top
think
three, right?
yeah.
And like
I
that's
think I think
like
that was the one over Murray, I want to say.
that's why like this dude is an absolute monster.
He's only
And
22.
yeah, only
Can
22.
we
He's going to bring the NBA back.
can we talk about something real quick? Because Malika Andrews tweeted out that Anthony Edwards was the first player since Kobe Bryant to score back-to-back games of like 40 points.
No way.
Yeah. Well, not first player, but under 22, under the age of 22.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And a lot of people are like Bill Simmons even tweeted out, he was all like, "Oh, he reminds me of like Dwayne Wade." I'm just like, no, this guy
No,
is like Kobe
no,
Bryant, like legit Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. One or the other.
no.
It's not
I
a
think
comparison.
the slashing ability of Dwayne Wade, sure, but this dude has a
Yeah,
jump shot too.
yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying.
if he
Yeah,
first came in, maybe Dwayne Wade because he was someone that could just go to the paint and like
yeah. He wasn't a shooter.
take some athletics, layups or dunks on someone. Like that was Dwayne Wade's game, and Dwayne Wade even later on in his career never really he had like maybe that mid range jump shot, but he
Yeah,
never held a three. Anthony Edwards could pull up from three for me. Like
yeah.
that's the like, and maybe that's
I love when he like dribbles the ball with like
Wade
one hand. He just
in
like
like
pulls up.
today's league, you know.
Yeah, you have to
So
have that.
yeah, maybe that's like what Simmons is going off of. But uh, yeah, I think the comp is honest. Kobe and Jordan, like to me, like it's
Yeah.
crazy to watch this. Like you watch the Bulls dynasty thing where Jordan was talking to his teammates, and then you see Anthony Edwards. That's
And
how he
it's
talks
the
to his
same
teammates.
way. But he's only
It's crazy.
22, which is
Only 22.
it's crazy that he gets the buy-in from his teammates because like there was one play or not play, but it was like one thing from yesterday's game in the audio, and he was telling Nas Reed, he was like, "Hey man, you got to slow down. You got to slow down your movements. Like you're moving too fast. You missed the lid because you're moving too fast. Just slow down." And Nas Reed was like, "Okay, okay." He just like shaking. I'm like, dude, that's you're 25, 26 years old. You over here taking advice from a 22-year-old. Like the egoless of this team is very cool to see, and like I think they respect it from Ant
It goes
because
back. I think they're go ahead. I'll let you finish and then
no,
I'll
no, go
say.
ahead, no, go ahead, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think they like because I watched I have Joseph. I find myself watching post game interviews now.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
watched
yeah,
game
yeah, yeah.
interviews
You
since
gotta watch
Kobe.
post game interviews. You gotta watch
I
post game
haven't watched them
interviews.
since Kobe. Like I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Steph
there's
Curry,
there's a topic I want
Steph
to talk
Curry would bring his daughter
about
around.
this
It was like
game.
a family type
Yeah,
environment. They would win. But I'm talking about a post game interview. Like I don't watch a lot. I just watch like a few guys and maybe like some excerpts. But I watched the whole thing for this Anthony Edwards guy. And he's always praising teammates. Always.
every single game, every
Like
single post
Nas
game, he's
Reed
doing that.
yesterday. He's like Nas. He's just he never quit. He kept coming at it until the game came to him. Eventually,
Yeah.
the game came to him. Like we trust each other here. I'm like, whoa, this is the maturity and like professional. I don't
Even back. Yeah.
like I
Sorry.
don't because of your guy.
Even back to the they got Kevin Durant, we got Jaden McDaniels. Like people
Yeah,
like took that and ran with it and like made memes about it and making it a joke, but like he was legit serious. Like he had a lot of confidence in Jaden McDaniels.
he's a
And
great player.
and to my credit, I've been saying it for a long time that Jaden McDaniels is one of the best wings in the game. Check my tweets, check my Twitter. I'm saying since like 2020, since 2020, I'm not 2020, it's like 2022, 2021.
Wasn't yeah, he was at
And
Washington. I was like, I think he was at
yeah. He played with
Washington.
Washington.
Isaiah Stewart
But
wasn't he with
yeah,
Isaiah Stewart?
Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart. But there was
Um,
another guy that was like a top pick. They had like a really good team, but but they kept on getting hurt and they just weren't good. Like they just didn't finish on. There was another guy they had. But anyways, back to the post game because Jokic made a statement yesterday and it was a joke, but I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. He said pretty much they asked him, he's like, "Hey, how does it feel to see like 2 7-footers out there like trying to play against him?" And he kind of like took a pause and he's just like, "All right." He's like to be honest, he's like, no. They asked him like, how do you like score on like the Twin Towers pretty much? And he was like, to be honest, like you would need I need to have a duplicate clone of myself. He said it jokingly, but it was kind of like I'm like if LeBron or like Steph or like Kevin Durant would have said this, like people would have took this and said like, "Oh, he's selfish," or he's like to himself. Like, how many times has Carmelo Anthony made a statement like that in the past? Like, he's all like, "Oh, I wish there was like two of me like out there trying to score." Like, I can you imagine someone saying that? So, like, I want to kind of ask you this question, and people are gonna probably call us, a whole bunch of names for me, even at least me. But just want to get your perspective. Like, do you think Jokic does not get a lot of slack from the public media because like he has this nonchalant attitude about basketball? So people just like when he loses, he loses. Like it doesn't matter because like Tim Duncan was kind of the same way, but like when Tim Duncan didn't do well or didn't score, like he just like he would just like the media wouldn't really like harp on him a lot. So like, do you think it's like more of like a thing about him just being like to himself and like him being about his horses, or is it more of a matter of listen, he's proven himself, he's in the league, he can say what he wants?
yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's not. I don't think it's a lengthy answer. I just think it's because he's. I think it's because he's not American, so we don't know a lot of stuff about him. We know him from MVP. The time we know who this guy is, he's an MVP. He's an NBA champion. It's not like he has these years of experience that we can go off of.
Yeah.
Like, is that the answer you're looking for, or do you want something deeper, something
No,
more?
no, 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 no. I was just curious on your thought to see, like, because like me, when I first saw the quote, I read it and then I went to the press conference where he said it. I'm like, oh, like he said that as a joke, so I'm not taking it in literal. Like he's not saying like, oh, he's not saying like my teammates suck. Like like we need to score more and
Yeah,
there needs to be more in me.
we know he can't say that.
Yeah,
Like,
but like
Porter,
he's
Murray,
pretty
like
much
these are
saying that
players.
like he's pretty much saying that like you need more. I need another one of me to kind of dominate against this team. And to me, that was like I can see someone taking that as a shot, like, hey, like, are you trying to take a shot at me saying like, hey, hey, like my 20 points isn't good enough? Like if I'm Michael Porter. And remember Michael Porter, he came out during the
It's the same.
bubble and he made that statement about about the offense needing to be more than just Jokic and Murray. Like he said that, and people took that and they took that and called Michael Porter a selfish player, like he was selfish and all this stuff.
Well, he was trying to get paid then too, though.
Yeah,
Like
but but
there's that. Like
but yeah, I mean, I'm just
there's
talking about
multiple dynamics.
just the
But
quote itself, just the quote itself. I'm talking about like the outside stuff that's
so
affecting
he
the
was
quote.
talking selfishly, like Michael Porter
Yeah,
was. He was Michael Porter when he was coming out of high school was supposed to be the number one player in the NBA draft.
I
He
mean,
ended
he
up
was the top prospect for a
he was
reason.
supposed to no, he was supposed to be number one overall. Like that's where
Yeah,
his trajectory was. He got hurt and fell to the Nuggets at what 14, 15, something like that.
yeah, it was
Late
late.
like mid round pick, wherever it was. So he was trying to get himself paid, like get himself back into like those conversations. So I think that was
Yeah,
a
14.
little yeah, I think that was a little different for his story. And again, like he was a much younger. We didn't find out Michael Porter was a MVP, and we start to know who he was. He was somebody who was for people who follow basketball, a top recruit. People who don't follow like high school basketball, he was just this player that's like talking about two players who are better than him type deal. So it's
Yeah,
selfish. Like though,
it,
like Jokic, he has a lot more freedom to say things because he's not American. We don't know who this guy is. Like we didn't follow him as a teenager. Like we just
yeah,
found
that's
out.
true.
We just found out when he's a grown man who this guy is.
Yeah.
Like I'm old enough to remember when he was on the bench. Like I follow basketball. The dude from the Blazers, Nurkic, was ahead of
We
him,
got
right?
it.
Like that's
Yeah.
like that's like
There was Mozgov was ahead of him. Timothy
see,
Mozgov.
you see what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to
Like
Timothy
these names
Mozgov
are
for
ahead of
robbing the
him.
Lakers
I
and
know he
robbing the
worked his butt off
Cavs.
I know he worked his butt off to get to where he is. So, but not a lot of people that are in the media like know these stories. I don't think, Joseph.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
don't know. They'll just take it and be like, oh, whatever.
I mean, couple things I just want to say while we're on Michael Porter. I think the 2018 draft class, we got to talk about it being probably one of the better draft class in recent memory. Because I was watching a podcast with Trey Young in it, and he was talking about like no, it was Josh Hart, I think, and Jalen Brunson podcast, and they're
Was that
talking about huh?
was 18 their draft?
18 was that draft, yeah, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Simons, Dante
So who was one?
DiVincenzo. Number one was that was the Luca and Trey Young draft.
Oh, so
But I'm just
Bagley.
saying, I'm just looking at this draft, and they were talking about on the podcast. They're like, dude, like in high school, like they were going up against like crazy teams, like Marvin Bagley, like
Yeah,
Michael Porter,
that's what I'm. Yeah,
all these guys were on Trey Young, all these guys were on the same team, and they would go to like Indiana and play because they're all well, some of them from Indiana and stuff. So I'm just looking at these drafts and just like Jesus Christ, like most of these guys are still in the league. Like most of these guys have gotten max contracts. Like Aiden, I mean, Saber Two was about Aiden, but he's got a max contract. Bagley really hasn't. Luca has. Jackson has. Trey Young has. What else? Colin Sexton, he's got him paid. Mikal Bridges probably going to get paid. Shea, Gilgis Alexander's probably going to get paid. Michael Porter got paid. I mean, all these guys are still in the draft. I mean, still in the league. Grayson Allen, every pick is a hit. It seems like. All right, sorry. I'm just going through this draft, just like Jesus Christ, this is a freaking crazy draft.
pretty good
And
draft.
who the Warriors draft?
I don't
Jacob
even know.
Evans. Jacob Evans.
But that's what. Yeah, and like that goes to Bob Myers, who thinks that he's
Yeah,
the greatest person of all time. I
Dude, I'm looking at all these
I
picks.
devalue
And
him
then the
so much,
Lakers,
so
Jacob
much.
Evans. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, dude, there's not much he like. We need to have a conversation about how bad of a job he did, how he mishandled it. They should have won more than what they did. I'm saying it.
Yeah, that may be a summer topic. I think we can talk about that after the NBA
Yeah.
season's over. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, this. I'm just looking at this. Bruce Brown was even in this draft. Jared Vanderbilt was even in this draft. Jesus. All right. Let's get to the NFL. Anything else on the NBA you want to talk about? I just watched the Magic and Cavs game. Magic should have won that game. If they had any help, if Boncaro had any help, but we don't care
Who
about
do
this
they
game.
play next? Because they're both
They're getting swept. They play the Celtics. If
Celtics.
the Celtics do not sweep this team, like they're not winning the NBA series
Well, it's
championship.
the
They
way
have to
they
sweep this team. They have to sweep this team. I need
the
to see it.
Cavs can't score. It's like you have Donovan Mitchell,
And
who
that's it.
he's the most volume of the volume shooters I've ever seen in my
I
life.
mean,
Watch,
he will go 8 for 45, and
he'll
he'll
still
still
shoot
get
too.
30, and he'll still get 30
Oh,
points.
he gonna shoot. He's gonna jack him up. He's gonna jack him up. And then also too, Joseph, he's like not. You can tell he doesn't like the analytics guys. Like I don't know this for a fact, but I watched the game. It's amazing how many long twos this guy shoots. And when I'm talking long twos, Joseph,
Yeah, like his
you
foot's
watch
on the 3-point line.
a day,
Mhm.
one more, like half a step, not even a full step, and it's 3 points. But he shoots these on 2 pointers, and it's like okay, I don't know anything, but I imagine he's not listening to these guys, or he can't
Yeah,
keep listening, but he can't just do it. He can't put it out on the floor. He's like, that's not my game. So
yeah,
it's
I agree.
something's going on for me. And I was a fan of Donovan. I was a fan. I never joined the Jazz bandwagon, but I always liked I like Rudy Gobert more than Donovan. I just like defense. I'm a defensive guy. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. With Donovan Mitchell, it's this is why I don't want him on the Lakers because I know what I'm gonna get from him, and I'd rather have a guy like Trey Young who can do both. Because think about Donovan Mitchell and Trey Young, like they both don't play defense. Like Donovan Mitchell can play defense, Trey Young can't. But Trey Young will try on defense. His effort has increased a lot more. I'm not saying that he's a horrible defender, but he's not the best defender. But Trey Young can pass the ball. Donovan Mitchell can't pass the ball.
you
So
know,
in my
I have something to
opinion,
comment to after that.
go ahead.
Keep going.
No, go ahead.
No,
No. I'm just saying like in my opinion, I would rather have the guy that can pass and score than the guy who can just score. Because Trey Young's gonna get you. He can get you 29 and 11 every night. But Donovan Mitchell, he can get me 29, and that's it. Like that's all I get from him. And maybe 5 assists. And to me, in today's NBA, he's more like he's remember how people say like people always get on Luka for like holding onto the ball a lot.
yeah,
But
they do.
at least Luka like gets other people involved. When I watch the Cavs, like their offense is literally just everybody space out. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen in the paint, and Donovan Mitchell just drives to the basket, and that's it. Or scores. That's it. What? Where are you putting it?
They're poorly coached because their best player is Evan Mobley. They need to run that sucker through Evan Mobley, but they
Oh
don't.
yeah,
They don't. They run it through Donovan Mitchell and Garland. Garland's a nice player, but
Garland's not nice. He has.
he's nice. He's
Go
not an
ahead though. Go
awful
ahead though. Sorry.
player. He's not an awful player. I'm not trying to like people say I talk crap on people. I'm not saying he's trash. He's all right. But if they if they ran through Mobley, they would be a much better team in my opinion. Because Mobley is someone who can. It's crazy, Joseph. You want more passing? He can pass for a big. You want more
Yeah.
points in the paint? Guess what? He can score in the paint.
He just doesn't have a lot of post moves. That's the only thing with Mobley I
Give the
don't
man a
like.
chance.
But yeah,
Mitchell
I see what
doesn't
you're
give
saying.
these guys a chance. Mitchell would rather jack up the ball 40 times. How many shots do you get off today? I don't want to criticize.
Probably about 32. I don't
So
know for a
like
fact, but I'm just guessing.
so for me, I just think, and I think Joseph, when it comes to he got 27 shots, 2 from 8 from the three today. That's what this man did
And how many
today.
free throws? He's like what, like 16 free throws?
Free throws? I have no clue.
Go with your point. I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
But yeah, my point is, I think Mobley's their best player. and I think they're missing out on a they can build their team like the Nuggets. Like I'm not saying he's as good as Jokic right now. It's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But he could play the same role, I think.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Jokic was not always Jokic. Jokic was
like
he developed into who he is today.
watch the kid play. He's good. And he plays defense. Like versus the Magic 2 games ago, he had the game winning block.
Yeah,
And like
on Wagner in Game
yeah,
Five.
like
I
this
think
is
that was
what
Game
like
Five.
I'm saying if you build your team around that type of a person, I'm saying you're gonna have a much stronger team. Like your team's gonna play a little harder. They're gonna shoot a little up. You see it with the Timberwolves, like with Anthony Edwards, their best player does all this stuff, and all of a sudden, we're talking Nas Reed's a great player. Like Rudy Gobert isn't soft anymore. He's this physical presence who can guard
Yeah.
Jokic. Towns, we thought Towns was a soft piece of crap. Like he's doing pretty good now that Anthony Edwards is there too. Like his whole, I look at him totally different. Yeah, but yeah, the Cavs. If the Lakers are looking at Donovan Mitchell, I would run away.
Oh
I
yeah.
really would. But it could be a good blessing in disguise. It might be the move that makes LeBron retire. Like LeBron's like, I can't play with these kids because
Yeah. He's gonna check up shots. He's
well, he's
like
going.
he's like Braun hated playing against Westbrook. Like he's gonna hate playing against
He's like Westbrook,
Donovan
but
Mitchell.
without the he. That's a good comparison. He runs up and down the floor like Westbrook, out of control.
Yeah.
Just but he doesn't pass. He just jacks up shots. He's like the most selfish player I've ever seen. He's hecka funny.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.